Hey folks, and welcome to the Queensland Open Boulder Titles here on the Sunshine Coast, hosted at Flow Bouldering and Climbing Gym. It's going to be a great lot of fun over the next 2 days. We've got the Open Bs and the Masters today. We got the Open As tomorrow. It's going to be a great lot of bouldering action here on the Sunshine Coast for the next 2 days. You're in for a treat. Buckle up. Let's get this show on the road. Hello folks, and welcome to the Open Bouldering Titles here at the Queensland Open Bouldering Titles at the Sunshine Coast Flow Climbing Gym. Great to have you guys here with us today. Here we go, folks. Welcome to the Open Boulder Titles here in Queensland. Action stations today. We've got a lot of competitors today. Looks like there's a few people on. the live stream right now in Facebook and YouTube. Welcome, folks. Good to see you guys there. If we've just started the live, folks, and just let us know in the chat if it's coming through. Only just started a moment ago. We've got a number of hours today. We've got the Open Bs and the Masters qualification this morning between 9 and 11. We started about 15 minutes late. So plenty of people you can see there lined up on the blocks today. Lots of setting going on with the setters last night. And plenty of action to be had today. Open B and Masters qualifications in the Boulder Jam this morning, 9 a.m. till 11. Then we have the finals, the Open B finals and the Masters finals later on today, which will be quite exciting, folks. The finals will be for the Masters between 12:45 and 1:45 p.m. and the finals for the B finals will be between 2 and 3 p.m. later today, folks. We will have separate streams for each of these, so stick with us throughout the day. Each of those streams will stop and start around those times, probably 15 to 20 minutes earlier. So if you're listening in right now and you want to settle in with a cup of tea, a coffee or something for the day and watch the streams, then you're in for a bit of a treat. My name's Jason Whitten. Welcome to the Open Bouldering Titles, folks. couple of little quick facts about today's competition here at Flow Bouldering Gym in Queensland.
judged down somehow.
Oh, really?
We give too many cameramen here.
Ah, do you want me to nick one?
Which one's your least important cameraman?
Probably that one up there.
Yeah.
I'll pop up and fix the station and then. Yeah. I had the camera and the power plug around anywhere, but have to have the power on the top. Yeah. It wasn't charging. Welcome back, folks. Sorry about the disruption in our Facebook live stream, folks. Had a little technical difficulty there, but thankfully it's just the qualifications here this morning. We'll get to the serious part of the action over the next 2 days, but usually in the afternoons with the finals. But we've got our qualifications here this morning, folks. Jason Whitten here with you, coming to you live from the Flow Bouldering Climbing Gym up here on the Sunshine Coast. And what a great day for it. Not so great outside, but perfect inside. We've had a bit of a rain, but the conditions inside are perfect. We have the judges on site. The bouldering gym has been wonderfully set with amazing blocks by the setting team last night. We've got a few little insights to what they've been producing and preparing for all the boulderers and climbers today. And we've got the finals later on today, folks. But let's hear a little bit from our sponsors as we move throughout the day. There you go, folks. One of our major sponsors here today. Bouldering and climbing is gaining popularity. We were in the Olympics for the first time ever as a sport, which was awesome. And Australia is certainly gaining in popularity and skill, talent in the country with our climbing community. And we wouldn't be getting there without great sponsors like Pinnacle Sports, and thank you to Sports Climbing Queensland for today. Lots of volunteers. Actually, you can see Paige right there. There she is, the head of Sports Climbing Queensland, head volunteer. We wouldn't have such a wonderful day today if it wasn't for our volunteers, our climbing community. So a big shout out, big thank you to those guys out there for supporting the sport as we move towards going legit, folks, going legit in the Olympics. And lots of fun for all of the climbers today. Oh, looks like a bit of a tricky transition, that one, around on those volumes there. Hey, good to see a bunch of people in today. And bit of a shout out to Sandy there, who's in Facebook. Give us a shout out, folks, if you're there. I can't see the comments on YouTube. I think they've been turned off, but I can see some comments in Facebook. So it'd be great to hear from you. Let us know how you're rolling. You'll see a few of our sponsors here today popping up here and there. Check out their stuff. Check out their website. They are supporting the community that we love, which is climbing, bouldering, and plenty of action here today. A little bit of a dynamic move there on that one this morning. We'll get a little bit closer to the individual blocks and boulders later on this afternoon, folks, when we've got less competitors. This morning, we have had, or today, or for the weekend, we have had 141 registrants. It's the largest bouldering competition sports climbing Queensland has had so far, thus this to date, which is fantastic. That is wonderful news for the sport and for all of us as competitors. The more people who get involved, the more popular this stuff becomes, and the more fun we all get to have, and get the talent going for maybe getting some Australian talent in for the Olympics coming up soon. 2032 in Australia. There's one in between, I'm sure, and good to see our sport in. Oh, there's a top there. There's a top there, and that's by Ian Harris. Made that attempt on that little bit of a slabby problem there on those volumes. Hey, listen, for those who are listening in at home, folks, and if you're not familiar with bouldering, there's 3 disciplines in the Olympics. There's speed climbing, which is as fast as you can get to the top of the wall. The route, the holds are set. They are the same holds, the same route worldwide. Everyone practices on those exact holds. Matter of fact, there was a record broken in the past little bit. It might have been last night or yesterday in one of the international climbing competitions for the speed climbing. There is lead climbing, where there's usually a wall between sort of 15 and 20 metres high, maybe a bit less than that, 10 to 15 metres high. It comes with ropes and clipping, lead climbing, and you got to make your way as high as you can up that wall. But what we are witnessing today, folks, is bouldering. And bouldering has gotten extremely popular in recent times. And the point of bouldering, folks, is to make your way from the ground. You have to make a controlled start. You'll see little pieces of green tape on holds at the bottom of the block. Those pieces of green tape denote you must have an appendage, a foot, hand, or combination of on those to start the climb in a controlled manner, by the way. And then you can see here, competitor 146, that is, oh, I don't even have him on my list. We must have had some new competitors this morning. He's pumping the fist there, made that top. You can see at the top of each of the blocks there will be a hold which has a piece of green tape, or it could be red. Anyway, denotes the top of each climb. So a number of pieces mean at the bottom of the boulder or block, you make a controlled start, and then you move along to where it might be. Right there, that one at the top, both hands controlled for around about 3 seconds. The judges give you the nod, and that means you've made it so far. There is a zone, if you can see, part way up a climb, folks. There will be another piece of tape. It's usually halfway, but not necessarily. Part way up the climb, which is called a zone hold, and you get a score for making it to the zone, and you get a score for making it to the top. And the judges will be frantically capturing everyone's scores. Everybody's scores along the way, and we will be seeing those a bit later on. But there is over 140 competitors here today, so we won't be seeing those scores live. There's a bit of a quick hello from me and Marty there in the control centre. We're flying a ship to the moon here, live streaming on Facebook and in YouTube. We've got Sandy here. Big shout out to Malcolm Sword, Maxie's first big comp. That's awesome. Thanks, Sandy, for shouting out. And go Max. Max, if anyone wants to know, let me find him on the score sheet here. A quick. Let me try and find Max. And in the meantime, we're going to hear from our sponsors periodically throughout the day.
After I'd had a big night drinking, I was laying in bed hungover. My boy rattled his little finger in my face and he just went, "Dad, can you stop drinking silly drink?" That was the last time I ever touched alcohol. So Sober came about as part of my ongoing live journey. We produce non-alcoholic craft beer to raise independent funds to work in the drug and alcohol and mental health space, particularly with at-risk youth. We're uniquely Australian. We're an Aboriginal owned and managed business, and all our products are infused with different native fruits, spices or botanicals. For us to all live on this planet, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander enterprises can be innovators and leaders by turning back and working our ways.
Back at the action, folks. Welcome back to our Boulder state titles here at Queensland. The first of about 4 or 5 competitions this year. And it's great to see the sport really getting popularity. Like I said a little moment ago, we've had over 140 registrations, the largest yet for a competition, which is fantastic. And we're live streaming today, both on YouTube and Facebook, folks. And great to see so many competitors here today in the competition. Oh, that slab, that block there's a little bit tricky. What you can see, folks, sometimes you can see the holds, which are usually coloured. Multiple holds there, red, black, pink, green. But you can see quite large different shapes, often triangles and squares. They are called volumes. And the route setters use those volumes to extend the dimensions of the climbing surface to make it a little bit more multi-dimensional, and it really spices the climbs up here, folks. You can see this boulder here, which is in the overhang, in the prow, and this is impressive. That's for those who don't know, that's called a dyno, or a dynamic move, where you launch from the holds. And grab the next one. So, everyone's having a go at this this block here. Looks like it's very popular, and it could be one of the ones that count when it comes to getting some scores today. What happens, folks, is the scores are added up. I was saying a moment ago, the blocks have some tags on the way up. You can see that red tag right there, and just switched, and another red tag there. Halfway up the climb is a zone hold. That's called a zone, and you'll get a certain amount of points. You'll get a zone point. So, hey, you made it to the zone. And then at the top of the boulder, the block, will be another tag which denotes the top. You must hold both hands. You must hold that top hold with both hands. Controlled manner to be awarded the top of the boulder. So along the way, if you get a zone and a top, then you'll get that on your scorecard. What will happen then, folks, is the judges will work out how many, or will be on your scorecard, how many attempts of the block or the boulder you took to get to the zone and the top. And using their spreadsheets, their matrices, work out who wins and who is not winning. So that's how it works, folks. And everyone is throwing themselves at these blocks today. They look fantastic. I think they've been well set by the look of things. I had a good chat to the route setters last night, and there was lots of thought and adjustments going into the boulders well into the evening, and hopefully the competitors enjoy themselves today. You are now watching, if you're joining us, you're now watching the Open B and Masters qualifications, the Boulder Jam this morning. Between 9:15 we started, I think, and 11 a.m. should go for a couple of hours, and the clock is ticking for everyone here. Everyone gets a chance to do the boulders and add them up, and whoever gets the lowest amount of temps but the highest amount of tops will be the winner, folks, in one way, shape or form. But there's plenty of climbing and bouldering to be done here over this next couple of hours. Lots of action. And I'll be touching base with you guys sporadically throughout the day. But it'll be mostly action stations on the climbing. And we'll be chatting a little bit here and there as we go. Maybe hearing from a few of our sponsors, which is always great. And I'll pop in from time to time to have a little look at what's going on in the competition. Looks like we've got someone about to make a top on this purple overhang, and hang in there, mate. Can't see his number on the back there, but he's made a top. Looks like this might be one of the stronger climbers here today, folks. Good to see. If he spins around, we can see his back, but well done. Fist pumps all round. Number 71, Jaden Carter. Well done, Jaden. Big shout out to you. I think you're the first that I've seen top that purple today. And there we go. We've got George on this powerful red one, and he's made that look pretty easy, folks. And George looking strong. Now we've got someone else who's made the dyno, the purple dyno, up through the roof here. Oh! It's always a heartbreaker, folks. You think you got it, and then all of a sudden, one moment of slippage or missed concentration, and boom, you're down. Anyway, welcome to the Bouldering State Titles, the Queensland Bouldering State Titles, folks. We've got the Open and Masters on today here up on the Sunshine Coast. We're at Flow Bouldering Gym, and what a great centre this is for bouldering up here. If you haven't had a chance to pop by to the Flow Bouldering Gym, folks, please get yourself along. It's a fantastic little spot. Plenty of bouldering for all of the grades and climbers here. But today, folks, we have the Bouldering State Titles, the Queensland Open and Masters. Over 140 competitors today. The largest registration in competitors. 100 registrations, the early birds that was in, and that was real quick. And it's the second year here. Thanks, big shout out to Flow Climbing, Flow Bouldering. Big shout out to those guys. This is the second year they've hosted the Bouldering Jam, bouldering competition, and they only just opened. I think they're only 2 years old, the team there. Big shout out to Pinnacle Sports, who is our name sponsor here today. Fides Cream also one of the team sponsors as well, and a bunch of our other sponsors, Scent and Cliff Bar, and really appreciate sponsors getting involved in the sport. We're now in the Olympics, as you guys probably know. If you do love climbing, you'd know that it was climbing and bouldering was in the Olympics just recently, and is going to be a permanent fixture going forward, which is fantastic news for the sport, and it's great to see it picking up popularity all over the place, folks. And shout out there to Rock Therapy Rehab for Climbers by Climbers. They look like a good crew as well. But that purple in the hammer, the overhang there, is shutting a few of the boulderers down today. But we've got some strong competitors here, folks, and we'll be seeing who is winning a bit later on, who qualifies. We've got the judges out there keeping an eye on things for all of us. In the next few weeks, Sports Climbing Queensland will be launching their 10 times multi-pass, folks. If you're up for buying some access to some of the climbing facilities, that'll give you access to any participating facility in Queensland. That sounds like a great opportunity. Get yourself a early bird registration. Keep an eye out on Facebook. They're going to let you guys know if you want to buy a 10 pass across the whole of Queensland. So that'd be fantastic. I think that's great. And also Sports Climbing Queensland, just a little bit of tidbit, was formed officially in 2015. Started out as just running competitions, and now not just running competitions, but trying to develop the next generation into the Olympics, which is fantastic. I think that's wonderful. It would be awesome. Bit of a shout out to all young talent and climbers here today, that the Olympics is literally around the corner, 10 years away, but it's not far away. I think if you've got some young talent, which I can see today, there's some strong competitors out here in the field today. I think we'll have some great opportunity to get some talent into the Olympics coming soon. We've got the Youth Nationals in June, folks, and that is the largest Queensland team heading down to, I believe, Sydney, and that would be great to see. And again, another shout out to all the volunteers. Sports Climbing Queensland is run by a band of volunteers, 9 board members and 5 supporting members. We wouldn't have these amazing opportunities for the sport if it wasn't for those volunteers from Sports Climbing Queensland. So big shout out to those guys and girls and people who help out getting these things organised. Great to see. What a good shot there. Dual dynamic manoeuvres. That was like it was meant to be. And some really good action shots here. Shout out to the camera team. Today we've got some volunteers on the cameras, and we've got myself and Marty here in the booth hanging out, trying to do the best of it. There's us, Jason Witten, Marty Brooks, trying to give you guys a little bit of engagement, interaction with the sport here today. It'll be pretty relaxed this morning. Like I said before, we have the qualifications on right now, which is the Open B and Masters, and then they'll go into what's called isolation. They'll go and sit for about an hour, hour and a half, while the route setters change some of the boulders for the finals. Let's have a look at this replay. Plenty of action here, folks, at the Queensland Boulder State Titles. We might have a listen to one of our sponsors right now, and then we'll be back to the action.
Youth Adventure is a new content-based platform for climbers dedicated to bringing you closer to your goals by connecting you with leaders in the adventure community. To find out more about We Breathe Adventure, go to danieloverend.com.au and follow the links to sample the content for free.
Okay, I'll feed it to them.
Folks, we've got the Open B and Masters qualifications here today. Jason Witten joining you here from Flow Climbing up here on the Sunshine Coast. Our fantastic venue. We are hosting the Queensland Bouldering state titles today for the Opens and Masters. Plenty of action here already. We've only been going about an hour, maybe 50 minutes, and it's all stations go. Fantastic manoeuvre there. Who have we got? By Sam. Sam Clip. Oh, he's off. I was just finding him. Well done, Sam. That dyno looked pretty good, mate. Hopefully your competition is going well. All right, folks. Well, everyone's making a bit of progress here. Around the back of this part of the climbing gym, there's a few blocks, but they seem to be all completed and done at the moment. These seem to be the harder ones on this side here. And who have we got here? Competitor 124, which looks like that might be... I don't have his name. It's not on my list. But that's all right. We'll keep rolling on. That is what's called a slab, folks, where you are standing on literally nothing, hoping the friction of your rubber and your shoes and your feet will hold it enough. Ease off. Well done, though. Bit of a tricky one. It's a bit more difficult when it comes to different styles of climbing. This is a bit of a dynamic move. It's quite popular these days in climbing competition and climbing gyms, where this dynamic, almost parkour maneuvers in bouldering and climbing are quite popular. A little bit of action there on the purple one. The purple one, folks, has been one of the showstoppers here and also the heartbreakers. Bit of a difficult one, a bit longer than the others and quite physical. Quite a physical climb, but looks like Regan there. Regan Coleman topped that one out. So well done, Regan. Good job. I've got someone on this green slab here. What would be called a slab in climbing terms, folks? Anyone listening in who's not familiar with the styles of climbing, if something is less than vertical, so lean over, and there's small or little holes on them, they're called slabs, where you can see there's very little on that green triangle there. That's called a volume in the gym technical term, where it's just a couple of pieces of ply painted with some grippy paint, where the route setters can maneuver and create different shapes and things on the wall, and it gives the route setters a few more dimensions in setting the blocks for today. Looks like that is working very well as intended, what the route setters wanted. Got a bit of a replay going here. We've got Regan making a top out on that purple one. All right, folks. Well, I just got the heads up from our president here of the Sports Climbing Queensland. The route setters got quite excited last night. There was meant to be 5 blocks for each of the sections of climbing today, the Open Bs and the Masters. However, they got excited and set 7. And everyone's been appreciating that, enjoying the extra climbing, the extra bouldering, and a few of the harder ones shutting a few of the boulderers down. But looks like we've got someone who's got to get a top here. Come on, there we go. Competitor 82, Liam Butler. Well done, mate. Good job. Looks like this red one to the left with a bit of a dynamic start is shutting a few of the competitors down, getting the hang of that one. And also seems like the green slab, the purple overhang, and the dynamic red one at the end are the harder boulders to do. How does it work, folks? The scoring here today, what happens, let me just quickly talk you through it if you're unfamiliar with it, or anyone tuning in want to know, well, what's going on here with all of this bouldering and climbing here today. This is the format called bouldering, no ropes. It's not about how fast you can go, it's about how many times you can, the least amount of times it takes you to get to the top of the climb, the block, the boulder. You can see here, perfect example down the bottom there. The first couple of holes have double marks, which you need to have both feet and hands in one format or another on the starting climb holds. And if those holds, you need to get a very solid start, a stable start before you get going. Part way up, you can see there was a red one in the middle. That is called a zone hold. You get a point for that, and then you get a point for the top, which is the one all the way at the top. Along the way, the judges will gather those scores, how many times it takes you to get to the zone, how many times it takes you to get to the top, and the person with the least folks, the least amount of attempts to each of those sections will be the winner, or going into the finals. Folks, we will have 6 people in each of the finals, 6 people in the Opens, 6 people in the Masters, and they're just finishing off now. Probably another 30, 40 minutes time, as much time as they can to get the boulders done, the blocks done in the competition today. So everyone's going well. Things are travelling along quite nicely. Give us a shout out in the chat if you're still there, and share the link, folks, if you can. It'd be great for you, for us to have the links shared out and about here today. Get as many people as we can on the live streams. That would be awesome. And share the love. I'll come back to you right after a quick message from one of our sponsors. There was Sam there, and he's from my local gym. Also Tim here from my local gym down in the Gold Coast. Shout out to the core team. They're up here at the competition today, as a lot of boulderers are. Now you can see that obviously wasn't a stable position to start from. Getting up onto that green slab boulder block looks like it might be a bit on the challenging side. You can see someone brushing there, folks, and what does that do? Often when you get a bit of traffic on each of these climbing holds, they collect a bit of dirt, dust, get a bit slippery, get a bit grimy, and grabbing a brush and giving them a good clean is certainly very useful. Oh, who we got here? That was a pretty good manoeuvre there by, was that Sam? I think that was 96, I saw on the back of his t-shirt there. Sam made that boulder. Oh! Now, he's not hurt, folks. as you can see, or you might be able to see, the big grey mats all the way around the bottom of the bouldering wall are quite soft and squishy. They are there to protect you if you do come off. That was a good move there by Byron. Well done, Byron. He nailed that dyno, and looks like he's climbing strong here. And one more or two more moves. Well, you can see his foot slipped on that pretty average-looking hold there on the way through, and that's the thing you've got to measure out, moving fast but accurately in these competitions, and making sure you've got enough energy to not only do the hard moves but continue afterwards as well, and make your way up the boulder, up the block to get an ultimate top. The top of the boulder being donated close to the top of the wall and with one single piece of tape. How to finish that? You must be touching that top hold with two hands, folks. Two hands. And it must be what's called a controlled finish and a controlled start. And so the judges have got their work cut out for them when it comes to keeping an eye on everyone doing it well and doing it right. Everyone does their best, of course. And we've got young Lachlan here. Looks like a pretty athletic and strong young fellow. And he might... I think he's sort of heading for the wrong move there, Lachlan. Take a left-hand, buddy. But he's a strong fellow. I think he'll be back for another shot at that one. Welcome to the Open B and Masters qualifications in a Boulder Jam format. Later on, we'll be having the finals later on this afternoon. The finals, folks, are going to be the Masters finals be at 12:45 to 1:45 p.m. This is the Open B and Masters qualifications at the moment. We will be stopping and starting the stream, and naming each one of them as we go along, folks. Masters finals and then the Open B finals as well. Open B finals will be between 2 and 3 p.m. this afternoon. We should be able to get a little bit better camera work on that. We've got so many climbers here today, 140 plus, 145 or something, and trying to keep the early bird got 100 in record time. So we've got a little bit of a shout out from Dan. I wonder if we can show people who aren't climbing on the middle climb. Dan, this middle climb is almost the last climbs that have been unclimbed, Dan. So a little bit earlier today there was a multiple of climbs around the back. We've got 2 sets of climbs now left going, and on the back side of one of the middle boulders, or the middle sections, it was a little bit harder, and they've been completed so far. But we've got probably 2 sections now that are getting the action, folks, and hopefully a bit later on when we have our Well, folks, we're on the back end of the qualifications here. A lot of the competitors have had a good crack at this, and they're having a good thrash at the last few blocks that they haven't climbed. Around the back of this big section here were a lot of easier, climbs and blocks have all been done. We've got a couple of sections now where we've got a few of the boulderers on and getting some tops still, which is great. A little bit harder to shoot certain sections today, folks. We've got over 140 people in the competition, and nice. Oh, what a finish there by, well done, Sam Burnett. Good top. That was all of it, 100%, all the way to the finish line there. Well done, Sam. Big shout out to those joining us here on the live today, folks. Good to have you on. It's fantastic to get a bit of support from the community. We've got some great sponsors, some great volunteers as well. A few of the last climbs that people are still trying to get a top on, maybe a little bit harder for each of the sections and the qualifications. A little bit more difficult. Looks like there's a couple of slab climbs over here. I was talking about that before. Different styles of climbing, not only the speed climbing, the bouldering and the lead climbing, but styles within styles. So this, folks, you can see two styles here, pretty well the same. They're called a slab, where the wall or the angle of the wall is less than vertical, so leaned in rather than out. And often those types of blocks are very tricky when it comes to friction and balance and hips and feet and knees. Not a lot to hold on to, and often require a lot more patience to get these blocks done. You can see people trying to get those up and out and started. So as opposed to this type of block, folks, where you can see it's very physical, an overhang. This one's slightly overhung, and you can see the angle of that, that's a good shot there, which is showing, just the physicality of that. Like, it's a quite physical looking block, this one. Well, folks, we're on the back end of the qualifications here for the Open Masters. And Open B is a bit of a shout there from one of the competitors. They're really going for it, making the most of today's opportunity to qualify for the finals later on today. You're now witnessing, if you're joining us just now, you're witnessing the Open Bs and the Masters qualifications here this morning between 9 and 11. Bit of a shout out. Been referring to some of the boulder problems as blocks. And for those who may or may not know, block is a very common term used in the International Climbing Federation commentary. It's derived from a French term, block. It's probably, maybe in Australia, it's probably the less known term, but a boulder problem, bouldering, boulder problem, or block for short. And it's the common denomination used in the climbing competitions worldwide. So a little bit of fun fact there, folks. I'll make sure I do a bit of the Aussie version as well. Boulder problems here, you can see, and or block. Block means boulder problem in a quick, simple, short one. But bit of a shout out, bit of a thank you for those who are listening in at home and wondering what a block is. A block is what you see right in front of you, a boulder problem. Starting, folks, on the ground. As you can see, this one here is a slab boulder problem, a block. And it's a bit of a heartbreaker, those slab problems. Always a little bit tricky to get yourself set and going. And at any moment, you feel really unsafe pretty well the whole time. But once you get the hang of those, you should be okay. All right, well, looks like we might be coming to the end soon in the next sort of 15 or 20 minutes. We've got Tian here from my local gym down in the Gold Coast as well, Core Bouldering. She's giving this green slab problem a bit of a turn. The trick is getting around Kelly Clarkson! that corner. We've got everyone getting pumped here in the last final minutes of the round. Everyone's trying to get themselves some points to qualify for the finals, folks. The scoring section, or the scoring process here, as you can see if you've been watching the stream, you'll be able to see pieces of tape at the bottom, halfway up, and all the way at the top, folks. That is a process of how the judges will score each of the blocks or boulder problems for the competitors. What you must do at the start of the boulder problem, you establish yourself in a controlled manner, and you must be touching each of the climbing holds at the bottom in one format or another, feet and hands. That one right there, right in front of James there. He's touching it right now with his right hand. That is what's called a zone. Usually halfway up, and you get a score for that. You get I made it to the zone in however many attempts. And the one up there that he's going for, up and to the left, the green tag, that is the top. And what James must do is he must establish two hands on that top hold in a controlled manner for about a second or two, depending on the judge. And that will mean he has made a top, folks. And a number of attempts for James to get to the zone and or the top hold will be how he gets scored. But he got to the zone, but not to the top. those who have the lowest amount of attempts with the highest amount of tops will be the winners. And they will qualify and go into the finals. We will get 6 finalists, as I've been told from the judges. 6 finalists today for each of the categories, and they will be climbing 4 boulder problems or blocks later on in the competition. So that should be good fun. We'll have a little bit easier time of it with the camera work later on, hopefully, folks. There won't be so many. Over 140 people in the competition today, which is the largest competition we have had for sports climbing Queensland, which was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Over 100 people registered in the early bird session, and everyone showed up today with a lot of energy and getting this party started here at Flow Climbing and Bouldering Centre. Fantastic venue, and all right. This purple overhang, a little bit of a that's no good.
Don't let his youthful looks from the moon. He is a guaranteed master, and he is a master. You got this. Good. It's a hard breaker on this project. One is a resident wizard here. Again, another first one.
Okay, by the look of the clock there, folks, we've got 18 minutes and 30 seconds left in the qualifiers this morning. Oh, looks like this black slab is shutting everyone down, but also the purple overhang here on the prow, a little bit of a heart stopper, a bit of a heartbreaker. A few of these boulder problems left here today. The hard ones. Really, yeah, if you're going to stand a chance to get into the finals, I would expect that you'd need to be topping these harder ones here today. A lot of strong boulderers in the competition this morning. You are watching the Open Masters qualifications in the Boulder Jam, and in a Boulder Jam format we've got a bunch of keen beans showing themselves at these boulder problems today. These routes that have been set by the route setters last night. We were here late last night with them, and they were madly making sure that every little piece of these problems were tweaked here. But here we go. We've got, looks like we might be getting a top. Now you must finish with, in a controlled manner, 1, 2, 3, boom, done. Nice job. Good top. That's how you do it, folks. You need to balance up that one. That one shut a lot of people down. Big high five from the supportive family there by the look of it. Who we got here? We've got Noah Pemberton. He's making his way up the purple overhang. Big roof problem over here on the... looks like that one's pretty stiff as well. 146. Well, I don't have him on my scorecard here, but it made a bit of progress by the look of things on the slab there. Oh, that heartbreaker. I've seen that happen a couple of times with just the foot placement high on that red boulder, that red block. And making our way up here is Morella. Morella just ever so slowly, just taking it easy, getting her balance right. Oh, now the judges might be saying, hey, Morella, come down, because maybe she didn't start that in a controlled manner. How does it work, folks? You've got to have both your appendages. So the judge is just explaining to her there. Now you've got to have two. Where it says 2 pieces of tape, that means you've got to have 2 hands or feet, or a combination of both. But you've got to have 2 things touching that hole to start with. And you've got to have a controlled start, which means you pull on to the boulder problem, stay still, and then you move forward, which is what the judges are here for. And you can see right there.
I'm just going to hang around for the... I'll leave this with you.
All right. Looks like a few late tops here. We've got Katie there making a top on the pink one. These 2 slabs have been... it seems like the slabs are the ones that's shutting everyone down here today, folks. Maybe everyone's been practicing on the hang boards, doing the chin-ups, getting the fingers stronger. But maybe that balancing the slabs really needs to be worked on, ladies and gents. Great to have a bunch of you viewers on today. Looks like a few newbies might have joined us just recently, so welcome. Those on Facebook, you can drop us a comment in the comments. Love to hear from you. And g'day everyone in YouTube. Can't see any comments from the viewers in YouTube right now, but that's okay. Fabulous to have you here. Just so you know, you are watching the Open B Masters qualifications, and it's a Boulder Jam format. There were 7 problems set. Boulder problem set last night by the setters. Only meant to be 5, but they set 7. They got excited. So the climbers today have got a little bit of extra fun on hand, and we've got the Open B and Masters. Now, this is the black slab that's been shutting everyone down, and we've got Lachlan making good progress here. Very close to the top. Come on, Lachlan. Well done, Lachlan. Yes. Well, there you go, folks. Well, a little tidbit on the rules. You can see in the hold, right in the center, you can see a section where there will be a big bolt that goes into the climbing hold. You can use that hole in that bolt hole as a hold in itself, and you just saw that happen just then. However, if you can see right there on that volume, or any of the holes in the wall, folks, you cannot use those holes in the wall as a hold. Oh, I was holding my breath then for that one. So you can't put your fingers in the holes in the wall, but you can put your fingers in the holes in the climbing hold. Hope that makes sense. I think I was just tying myself in knots there myself, but I hope you know what I mean. You can use anything that is on the hold, but on the wall, that is not the case. And the judges will be keeping an eye on that one. That was a great top there before. And we've got everyone throwing themselves at these. They've only got about 15 minutes to go. And we've got Sam here, making his way up that rather large overhang. This one's very physical. You can see Sam just trying to get himself up into that manoeuvre there with a bit of an undercling and a very physical manoeuvre on that round ball on the lip. But again, here's these slabs. These ones have been being a bit tricky for our competitors here today. And we've got Dylan, I think it's Dylan Burney, making great progress here on this red block. Boulder, he's out. Thought he was going to pull through on that. It shut a lot of people down there on that red one at the top there, that right foothold. It's a bit nothing. It's a bit rubbish, really, that foot. And I think that's the heartbreaker of that boulder problem. It's an interesting one, high on the boulder problem. So it looks like we're on the final stretches here, folks. Many of the competitors have had their cracks at the boulder problems, and we're getting a few of the harder ones repeated or attempted to be completed by the competitors. Good to see so many people jumping on. Fantastic to see you guys sharing that link out as well, so appreciate that, folks. Just so everyone knows, we will be having the finals. This is the qualifiers for the Open B and the Masters qualifications in a sort of a Boulder Jam format. Later on today, we will be having the finals. The Masters finals will be starting around 12:45. Let's, give or take 15 minutes. And the Open B finals, give or take 15 minutes, 2 p.m. They'll go for an hour or thereabouts. And fantastic move there. Got right around that slab in that corner. Nice finish. 2 hands on the top. That's the way. Well done. Good manoeuvre. Big shout out to our sponsors, folks. We're going to hear a message from one of them right now.
Rock therapy has really helped me with a major back injury I've had recently.
My weird shoulder mobility thing.
A ruptured pulley and an injured one.
The time I did something really weird to my elbow and I couldn't straighten it much.
I developed a lot of just tendonitis.
My knee.
I broke and dislocated my 2 vertebrae in my back.
I don't know what you call the front of your hip.
Favourite treatment's gotta be needles.
The needling?
The needling.
The good vibes.
I'm a pretty lonely guy, so it's nice to have some physical contact every once in a while. I'm just gonna make all this footage unusable.
Great to have so many great sponsors. Rock Therapy. Tell you what, being a boulderer and climber myself for over 25 years, had a few injuries, and I tell you what, getting some help from the right expert in that space is pretty important. So, he committed to that top manoeuvre. As you can see, folks, wherever someone takes a fall, they land on some pretty soft and squishy mats at the bottom. This is called bouldering. If anyone is new or unfamiliar with what you're watching right now, you go, what is going on here? This is one form of climbing, a short form called bouldering, which often is a lot shorter, happens a lot quicker, and tends to be a bit more intense. This is a bouldering gym. This is an amazing facility up here on the Sunshine Coast, flow climbing, bouldering gym, and we've been lucky enough to be here today for these guys to allow this competition to happen today, which has been fantastic. This is their second year in operation here, the flow team, and this is their second time they've hosted this competition as well. So big shout out to those guys. They're amazing. Fantastic facility here, folks. If you haven't had a chance to pop by and have a climb here, anyone can have a go. From beginners, never done it before, to the experienced. There is plenty here for everyone. So if you feel like an afternoon or a day out, this would be a fabulous place to pop by and say hello. And give these guys a bit of a shout out for allowing us to host the competition here. As I said a bit earlier, we had over 100 registrations in our early birds today, or earlier this month, and 140 plus registrations so far. And big shout out to Pinnacle Sports, our named sponsor, and Pfizer Cream and Scent and Cliff Bar. Big shout out to you guys as well. It's fantastic to see the sport getting support from sponsors, and we're in the Olympics now, which is awesome. So folks, good to see great things coming up and coming for the sport of climbing, bouldering in Australia and worldwide. There's some fantastic competitions, and you can see lots of these online. And like today, we're live streaming the competition both on YouTube and in Facebook. And it's great to see so many competitors here. You are watching the qualifications of the Open Bs and Masters. And they've probably only got about maybe 10 minutes or less to get their boulder problems completed. The route setters set 7 of them last night. They got excited. They only meant to be 5. And the team did a great job at putting together the right type of boulder problems for everyone here in the competition. Great to see an excellent variety of people in the competition today, but it is opens, some young talent, also some mature talent, which I'd put myself in that category. Having a good time. There's probably a couple of serious keen beans here who are using this as their training to go towards nationals, but most of the competitors today are here to have a bit of fun. And you know, that's the great thing about the climbing community around the world and Australia as well. Fun is the primary reason we do it, and then the rest of it is an added benefit if that's what's on the radar for you. So we've got young Lachlan here, going to give the purple overhang a bit of a whirl. And we've got Tiana about to give this green slab a bit of a go. Fingers crossed she can crack it this time. And we've got Matt. Oh, Matt was going to give that red a bit of a whirl. He might get back up there and have another shot at that one. We'll see how we go. Dion. Oh, he was making good progress there. I think that's the furthest I'd seen anyone get along on that blue slab for a while. So maybe he's got that in him. But they've only got maybe 10 minutes or less, folks. We can have a little look at the clock maybe a bit later on, but we'll see how we go. These are the last ditch efforts of these boulderers to get to the top of the boulder problems. The climbs here today, and I'm sure they'll be all getting a little bit tired at this point, but they won't stop until the bell rings, the final bell rings. And how it works, folks, if you don't know, the competitors have a chance to climb each of the boulder problems, the blocks. They start at the bottom, they finish at the top. That should be pretty self-explanatory, but along the way there's a few little tricks for the scoring. Oh, it looks like Tian's going to make a top here, and she has to finish with 2 hands on the top. Yes! Go Tian. how you saw Tiana finish on the top there was 2 hands in a controlled manner on the top hold. And that's the way he finished it. You can see it at the top there on this red one. You can see where the start is, where you can see Sean starting with 2 hands or a hand on each of the climbing holds at the bottom. He needs to start with both feet, 1 foot on each of the bottom holds, 1 hand on each of those holds designated at the bottom. And he makes his way through to what's called the zone. The one he's on right now is called the zone hold. You get a point. He should get a point for that mustache, actually. I think that's a fabulous mustache. I think if we have a competition or some points for the best mustache, I think that one should win. But the zone hold, you can see that there, right there. That's middle of the climb. And then this part is, you must finish at the top, controlled in with 2 hands. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how it works in the world of climbing, bouldering competitions. We might have a little listen to one of our sponsors right now.
After I'd had a big night drinking, I was laying in the bed hungover. My boy rattled his little finger in my face and he just went, "Dad, can you stop drinking silly drink?" That was the last time I ever touched alcohol. So Sober came about as part of my ongoing live journey. We produce non-alcoholic craft beer to raise independent funds to work in the drug and alcohol and mental health space, particularly with at-risk youth. We're uniquely Australian. We're an Aboriginal owned and managed business and all our products are infused with different native fruits, spices or botanicals. For us to all live on this planet, Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander enterprises can be innovators and leaders by turning back and working our ways.
Says 63. Oh no, she just changed it 5 seconds. Yeah. Okay, now it's 29 minutes 55. Now it's 29:55.
competitors, this is your last 27 minutes. Okay, so the clock is accurate now. You have 27 minutes remaining. Remember, when that clock hits zero, you'll have 5 minutes to get your score sheets in. So we will make sure you get your score sheets to the judges when that time hits zero. Okay, that's 25 minutes left. The final clock. Remember, the score calls in at the end. 25 minutes. Also, I believe that the food truck will be ready in about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's say 15. So not the rushing, but the food is almost ready.
Well, folks, I've just been told they had the timing clock and it only went for 90 minutes, but the qualifications goes for 2 hours. So they've added the extra 30 minutes. So you guys are lucky. You get another 30 minutes from now of qualifications. But it looks like most of the climbers have had a good crack at each of the boulder problems, folks. So hopefully they've got themselves into the qualify or into the finals. You're listening into the qualifications of the Open B and the Masters at the moment. Tomorrow, folks, if you're listening in, tomorrow will be on Sunday, May 8th, will be the Open A's. And that'll be in a World Cup format, which will be not the Boulder Jam, but in sort of sequence. So that'll be a bit of fun. A little bit harder to shoot with the camera work and the stuff today in the Boulder Jam format. A lot of fun, though. And hopefully it's all right for you at home, folks, on the couch or wherever you are, enjoying the live stream. I'm sure many of you are popping in, maybe having a look at competitors today, maybe see if you can get a glimpse of them here and there. Hopefully you have. And they've all done very well with the boulder problems here today. A lot of climbers. And this young man, he's had a few goes at this one. He's hung around on that hole for a bit. A bit of a heartbreaker. There's always a section in the boulder problems, folks, which would be called a crux, which is often referred to as the hard part. One or two hard parts sometimes. Looks like we might be getting a top here. Oh, here we got This looks like Lachlan. Go, Lachlan. Oh. Bit of a commitment at the top there. Bit of a gnarly manoeuvre. But we'll see how Lachlan goes. But he made good progress. Got a delivery here. Got a little bit of lunch on our way. We'll be breaking in about 30 minutes, folks. And we'll be having the finals this afternoon. Just so you know. They'll be on the Masters finals. We'll be on at 12:45. Hopefully we'll be on time. Give or take 15 minutes, folks. And the Open B finals this afternoon are around about 2 p.m. Both of those should go for about an hour. So if you're up for that, let us know. We will be live streaming, and you can watch it in the replay. And we've got someone who made that dyno look easy. John Davies in the Masters. Oh, there you go. All right, we'll be back soon, folks. Enjoy the show.
going on as well. And some excellent attempts by Thomas still. Keep going on stuff. Come on. Come on. Oh. That goes.
Well, folks, we're on the back end of the Open B Masters qualifications here today. We've got a few of the competitors having a crack at the final. Oh, we've had a top on the black slab. Fantastic there, 15 minutes. You can see that in the background, folks. But the old purple overhang here is certainly shutting a few of the competitors down. It seems like it's one of the tougher ones. We are at the qualification stage, folks. We've got 15 minutes left, and everyone wants to add these tops, the top of these boulder problems, to their scorecard. So you're making good progress here. Come on. Oh! Oh, that was a bit of a tough fall, but he seems young and bouncy, that fellow. We'll see how we go. Very physical boulder problem, this purple roof climb here. Looks like there's a few tops happening now, which is fantastic. Let's see if this purple one can be put on the scorecard. And a little bit of a difficult transition across there as well. Good effort. This red boulder problem has been shutting a few people down also. And Caleb, young Caleb there, looking to put that one on his scorecard, but not to be. The MC getting the crowd pumped up a little bit here for the final few minutes of this qualification rounds here today. The Open B and Masters qualifications on the home stretch here for some of the competitors. And we're getting a good shot of the judge's head there. But this black slab boulder problem seems to have shut a few people down. I've only seen one top on this one, and you would expect that climber. We didn't get their name, but they made good progress. That's what's called a slab, folks. Very balancing, and one little slip and he's off. She's off. This type of climb boulder problem is a tricky one. It's certainly probably what I would say the most uncertain of boulder problem styles. The rest of them, you're sort of hanging on to something, but those ones are often very uncertain. And we've got Sam here, Sam Burnett, making good progress. And that is a stopper move at the top of that boulder problem there. To shut a few people down. But we've got OJ, looks like OJ Reeves here on this blue slab problem. And you can see how delicate, folks, where OJ's just getting his feet sorted, keeping his body as close to the wall as possible. Some weight down on his toes. Just has to transfer ever so slowly, ever so slightly over to this other blue hold here. And that's not slow-mo, folks. That's him moving in slow motion. But there you go. He's a bit disappointed on that one, but he was making great progress. Yeah. Oh, and it's a big commitment on that red one at the top there. And, right at the top. Good amount of intimidation there on that fall, but you see some of the climbers throwing themselves at it. Obviously, you've got to go all in when you want to hang on to one of those holds high on a boulder problem like that. And this purple one seems to have seen a few tops. The holds look big, but they're all facing a different way, and not as easy as you'd like for them to hold on. But there's a top for our young competitor there, number 30. There's Lachlan Williams. He's doing well. Now let's see how we go. This red one, very physical boulder problem in the corner. Once you sort of make that one, if you can get through these next couple of moves, that last move, which is this commitment move right at the top, is one of the ones that seems to be shutting some of the competitors down. And that's looking pretty good. Making his way up there, sort of get that sort of drop knee down on that big ball behind him. If he can sort of pull himself up in there, there it is. He's got it's a back foot. Oh! Good efforts all round. You heard it, folks. 7 minutes for the competitors now to get their last ditch efforts in for tops on the Boulder Problems here today. Everyone's getting a bit pumped up. The crowd's sort of gathering around the last few climbers for their attempts on the Boulder Problems. And here we go. This is that heart stopper, that red one. And this is an all-out commitment, this move at the top here. Let's see how we go. He looks like he's fairly solid. He's getting set. Psychological, this one, isn't it? Come on, let's do. Oh! I thought he was looking good then, but you know, you can run out of steam. You can look good, and then all of a sudden, you know, the body doesn't want to hold on anymore and you know, pop off the wall. But great efforts though. You can see the climbers not letting any of this effort go to waste, putting it in 100%. Everyone's trying to qualify for the finals this afternoon, folks. We've got the Masters finals and the Open B finals later on today. The Masters finals will be at 12:45 or thereabouts, and the Open B finals at 2 p.m. or thereabouts. Hopefully we'll be on time. See how we go. He's making good progress on this one. He's flaming out there. That looks like it's very fingery and bicep required there. Good flexibility here. Keeping that foot nice and flat on that volume there by Katie. The more rubber you can get on that volume, the more grip you'll get. And nice high step with the stance. Getting around this corner. Oh, that was a good save. She was almost gone then. But we might see a top here. Looks like she's sticking in here. Oh, fantastic. Well done, Katie. Good job. She fought that one all the way to the end. Here we go. This committing maneuver at the top. Certainly psyching a few of the boulderers out here today, folks. This purple one isn't as easy as it looks. James here is looking to make a top on it, making his way through these moves, and those holes are big, but they're facing not the way you want them to sometimes. So, but he's made good work of that actually. Well done, James. And here we go. Ali's making great progress on this black slab problem. We haven't seen many tops on this. This is looking great. Looking fantastic here. And sometimes you have to make small moves. She'll have to do I think she's going to... looking to the crowd like, what shall I do now? But Ali, you've made it so far. I'm sure you can work it out. Let's see. I think she's going to have to do a little step through with her left. Yep, that's it, Ali. Step through with her left and then onto the right. I think that might be what one would call the crux move of the boulder problem. She's there. She's fairly comfortable there, but can she move on? Oh, Ali, well done. Well done. Tiana is going to give this a crack, but we've got a top here from Forrest. Forrest Bluefeather did well on the blue slab. Would have been we haven't seen many tops on that one either. So we get some great tops here late in the piece, folks. I think we've only got 5 or 6 minutes left. 5 or 6 minutes left on the clock over there for the competitors. Getting pretty close to the end, and there's a quick top on that purple, which is great. Here again, this green slab. Now what she's standing on, folks, is a volume. They're big plywood shaped blocks, volumes that are used to change the shape of the wall and helps with the root setters, you know, making interesting climbs. Oh, she is absolutely going for it. And she made it too. Well done. Big celebrations there. Well done. It's good to see everyone really throwing themselves at it, going as well as they can.
Okay, guys, there is 2 and a bit minutes left.
2 and a bit minutes left, and Jacob.
Remember, if you are on When that time runs out, you can finish your climb. So if you are on
There you go, you heard it, folks.
time runs out,
If you're on the wall, you can finish your climb, but 2 and a bit minutes left. And
2
competitors
minutes left.
are looking to make the most of those 2 minutes.
To get those
Part of that process, or part of the scoring, folks, is to get as many tops as possible. Obviously, you start at the bottom, you finish at the top. And how many attempts you do on the way to the top of the boulder and the climb. And along the way, you collect points. There's a halfway point. You can see it with one piece of tape cut. It's called a zone. You get a point for that. And you get a point for a top. And the number of attempts to each of those sections in the climb then get added together. There you go. Getting close to the end. Your score consists of the number of attempts you have to do a boulder problem, top to bottom, on the way, how many attempts you got to the middle of it, which is the zone. You see one single piece of tape. How many attempts you did to get to the top, which is a single piece of tape at the top. And it looks like we might see a top here. Yes, 2 hands at the top. To finish that boulder problem, you have to make put 2 hands on it and do a very controlled finish. 40 seconds, folks. We have 40 seconds left in the Open B and Masters qualifications. We are on we are on the tail end of it all here. Everyone's throwing themselves at it, having a good crack at this, see what happens. And let's see how, if we get some tops in the final seconds of the competition today. Looks like we might get a final top here on the buzzer. Come on. Yes. That is fantastic. Janita. All right, well done. There we go. All right, we've got a few climbers still on the wall, and we'll see how we go, folks. We'll see if... Oh! All right, we've got one competitor. We've got 2 competitors left on the wall.
Tiana's out. We've got 1 left on the wall. Go on, Caleb. Let's hear some noise for Caleb.
Yes! Oh. Yes! Yeah, that's the type of finish we like to see. All right, folks. Well, there you go. It is done and dusted. That is the finish of the qualifications. Now all the competitors need to grab themselves 5 minutes. 5 minutes of scoring. But in the meantime, I'm going to play you some highlights from earlier today. For those of you still with us, folks, hang in there. What's going to happen now? We will be finishing this live. So if you're in Facebook or you're in the YouTube channel, we'll be finishing this live, folks, and we will be restarting the live for the Masters Finals at around about 12:30. It will start. The finals will start at about 12:45, we hope. But don't go away, folks. Put it back in your calendar or your alarm. 12:30. The live stream will start. 12:45, the competition will start for the Masters Finals. Then we'll just keep rolling through to the Open B Finals, folks, at 2 p.m. And should be an action-packed afternoon. stick around. We would love to have you back on the stream. We're going to have a bit of a break right now, so we will end these streams and we'll be restarting brand new streams on the same location. So keep an eye out for those, and see you guys soon. Don't go away. Thanks, folks. What's not coming through?
Like it's on here, but is it coming through on YouTube?